What is up, and welcome back to another episode of the Girl Gains podcast. I am Amber P,
I'm Alexis Adams.
and it is late. We're filming late. I'm tired. Alexis is very tired. She's what are you 3 days out now? Is that what it is?
I'm about to call it 2.
Well, we're rolling on two.
Yeah, almost 2. We check
Yeah,
in
so
for the
we're
Olympia tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're recording this on Tuesday, October 8th at 8:12 p.m. Alexis put up some question boxes, so we're going to go ahead and get rolling with that because, well, she's tired and I have an early flight to Vegas in the morning. So here we go. So, first question we have is posing too much a thing during peak week? That's a good question.
For bikini and wellness, I think like fatigue-wise, no. I can't imagine you're going to post so much that you like start burning too many calories. But it can be if you're over analyzing too much and like start tweaking things that don't need to be adjusted. And that can happen if you're just assessing, like over analyzing.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think it's too much during peak week. The thing that I see the most that I think does harm you is on actual show day when you're backstage and you just see that one girl, she keeps rolling through her posing and she keeps going and going and going. It's like you have to be careful with that because first of all, like understand that I know for me, the more I pose, I get a pump. And so what can happen sometimes is you pose so much and then now you can't even really catch a pump and now you look soft, you look soggy. So
Yeah.
I would just be mindful of
Yeah.
that.
Like, especially at that point, if, like, that is when I guess you would burn through too many calories. So,
Yeah.
like, you've timed your nutrition perfectly for peaking. So, like, it's okay to run through it a couple times to kind of shake the jitters off, but you don't want to be posing and posing and posing and posing. Cause like Amber said, either you're going to be over pumped and your physique's going to look off, or you're just going to burn through your calories and be flat and not be able to fill back out.
Yeah. And then like I always say to some girls too, like, if you ain't got it by now, before you get ready to go on stage,
Yeah, and like
it
I
is what
do,
it is.
especially my girls that are nervous, I'm like, when they're lining you
Yeah,
up and you're pumping up, go through your mandatories once or twice and that's it. Like, don't
that's
keep
it.
spinning through them, but like, it can kind of make you feel content. If you go through it once or twice, it's almost like warming up before you go on stage. But don't pose and pose and pose.
Yeah. This is a good question. How on earth does Boss of Outlaw peak that many people at one time? He's a genius. I swear. I'm with you. I don't want the man's job. That's
So
for sure.
that is a good question. He actually just answered this he did an interview with Fuad, because Fuad asked the same thing. Like, that is crazy. But one, he's used to it. His first Olympia coaching was, I think, 2021, and he had 6 athletes at his first Olympia. But also, he's autistic. So it comes in like legitimately autistic, not the everyone in
On the
bodybuilding is
spectrum.
on the spectrum, but like,
No, he's
yeah, that he is very much so. But it's perfect because his like hyperfixation is bodybuilding and he can compartmentalize very well. So, he like feelings don't come into it. If you look like crap, he'll tell you. If you look off, he'll tell you. He'll ask what's up, um, and he'll just tell you like what you need to do, and that's it. And then he's also very like aware and good at like giving himself downtime. You know how like autistic people also have to be aware that like they can become overstimulated. So like he's good with boundaries and like um he knows what each athlete needs and he applies it to that athlete, and also and is very understanding that like there's no one way to do anything.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. What will you snack on backstage?
So we don't snack backstage. So I saw that question and I was like, um, whatever coach tells me, but really we actually don't eat a pump up food at all. It's Gatorade and salt.
Hmm.
So like you're that way you're not having to digest anything in your stomach. There's no like stomach distension or anything. It's literally just filling you with sodium and fluid and electrolytes so that you get a pump.
Makes perfect sense. Have you ever changed up a posing routine during peak week?
I've adjusted poses depending on like even with Boss, he has adjusted my side poses a little bit since being here. But I would never recommend making a significant change. Um, because you're not going to be as confident as the one that you're doing prior. So even if it's slightly better, if you can't nail it, which if you're not an experienced athlete, I would not make a big change like that. Someone who's experienced and has been on stage and kind of knows that they're not a nervous person can make
Right.
some changes. But even so, you don't want to be in a position where you're having to think on stage. So, like overhauling, switching which side pose or which front pose you do, I wouldn't do any nonsense like that.
Yeah. I know for me, if anything, it's just because like how the physique is peaking. So it might be okay, maybe turn your toe in a little bit more or
Yeah.
bring your leg out a little bit. It's nothing major. How do you navigate through the brain fog during peak week?
You just survived. I was telling Amber earlier, like this, especially the last 2 days, have been kind of a roller coaster of like I'm really on a high and I'm feeling good and I can get all these things done, and then I'm like in a terrible mood. Like that's what it was today. I felt like dead this morning, and then we ate a meal, went to Boss's Airbnb, and then he looked at us and we went and trained, and I was like on cloud nine. And then by the time we got back to the Airbnb, I was like, I don't want to be around anyone. I don't want to hear you talk. Like don't exist near me. So I went into the bedroom and like laid here and like halfway watched Hulu and halfway scrolled through my phone until my mood was different. And like there was nothing to change it other than getting through that time period because your hormones are like all over the place at this point. Your body doesn't want to be this lean with this much muscle. So like homeostasis is not a thing. And you need to limit what's on your plate. So like I haven't had any posing clients this week. I had minimal posing clients last week. Um, and just survive. And sometimes it's minute by minute, hour by hour and getting through it. And like I've been trying to like absorb all of this experience too because this peak and like experience has just been so much better than the last time I was at the Olympia. So it's a completely different process, experience, everything. So I've been trying to soak it in. And like, even in the pissy moods, I'm like, this is part of it. So like, I don't want to feel like this, but I'm not going to just like try to ignore it because it's also part of it. So like, I'm going to be thankful that I got through this hour in 2 days when I'm on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, and you handled it beautifully. Like this entire prep has been so different from all your other preps, and like even like when you message me, like I can tell, I'm like, okay, and I'm like, it's all right. Like fighting through it, you're like, whew, I'm struggling, but it's fine. and
Yes.
then
It's like,
like an hour later, she's like, oh, did you see this?
yeah. And then I'm like blowing you up when I'm like thinking of stuff. My brain has been also like on at nighttime. And I think it's because like I wake up, I do my slow morning thing, we get through the day, and then I'm like exhausted. And then I kind of like have the adrenaline dump, situate, like remove myself, and then I'm ready to go again. So like the last hour or so, I've been like cooking chicken. I'm meal prepping for Callie because we'll get to that, but she hasn't been eating dog food. Um, Cooking for Amber because she gets here early tomorrow, so she'll have some chicken.
Exciting.
Um, Making sure I have food for Saturday because like
Hmm.
they're like usually it's like we're at an Airbnb, you get through the show, then it's like, okay, now what do I need? Like going forward, what's the plan? But like it's gonna be full rolling from my competition day Friday into I have booth appointments on Saturday morning and then Martin competing Saturday night. So like that is to keep me from eating garbage constantly.
Right.
Um so I'll have like my food for the next couple days, which will be different, we'll talk about, but then I'll have regular food for after as well. So just kind of getting all my ducks in a row because we're in an Airbnb now, as you can see, and we go to the hotel. Wah, um, we go to the hotel tomorrow.
Perfect. What are you most excited for the Olympia?
Um, bringing a better package than last year and having a better placing than last year.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very confident. I'm really excited. Like everything's been firing how it should be. At this point last year, I was kind of like worried, like, is it going to come together? And like now it's completely different. Like it is here. It's just like putting finishing touches on it. Like every time I see my check-ins, they're better and better. We don't have to do any Houdini crap at the end to like fix anything. It's just like surviving the sucky hours and like getting through until show day.
I always feel like I can't hear you, so turn it up and it makes Amber really loud. Okay, well listen. Thank you. We're doing our best. We
We're
love
not
you.
professionals. Um, I probably could sit closer to my mic, so I'll do that in the future, not in the past. Um, but I'm also, you might not hear me very well because I have headphones in because I'm in Vegas and I don't have a microphone.
Yeah. No, we
So
this
hopefully you can hear
we're
me.
just girls. We're just bodybuilders that talk about bodybuilding occasionally. This is not my first job profession. But thank you for the feedback. Who are some athletes you're excited to watch compete any division? Ooh.
So I saw that question and I'm going to be quite honest. I haven't been paying attention to anybody except me and Martin.
Yeah.
Um, so I probably won't watch much of the show other than open. Um, Obviously, I won't watch any of prejudging on Friday because I'll be backstage and I'm the last category. Um, Friday night, I'll be on stage and then I'll scoot into the audience to watch Martin on stage. And then Saturday, I'll be at booths at the expo, but I won't be watching the show. Um, and then Saturday night, I'll be in the audience, but I don't even know. I know Bikini goes Saturday night, and I know Open Men Saturday night, and I don't know who else is going to be up there. So
Yeah.
that's about as much as my brain can
Yeah. No.
contain.
I mean, I'm excited to see my people. I mean, I don't think that's a shocker. So you, Cherish, Michaela, Jay, Vanya, like the I like that's those are honestly the only people I really like check for like that anyway. So sorry guys.
Are there more questions?
Yeah. Yeah, but I was trying to slide
Okay.
through here. Where's what's something that surprised you about the Olympia on the competitor side? That's an interesting question.
Uh, I don't know because this is not my first Olympia. So I guess like this time, the most I'm surprised with is like I didn't realize how many people get into town early and how important it is, especially with it being in Vegas, compared to like Florida where I've been. It's way hotter here. So like in Florida, the highs are like high 90s. Here, it's like 105, 108 degrees, but it doesn't actually feel that hot because it's not humid. So it's like surprising because it's hot and like at some points you're like holy crap, but like most of the day like Florida is like you walk outside and you're hit with a sticky brick wall of heat, and here it's not humid so it feels better. But you have to stay on top of your hydration because you'll get dry really easily. So it's kind of it's interesting. Like I never took that into consideration. I knew we were coming early, but I thought it was just really to like get used to our surroundings and all of that. But like the physique also plays a part. Um, so far that's it. I mean, today's Tuesday, so we haven't gotten into like any of the Olympia shenanigans other than training at the gym and like running into other competitors. But yeah, I don't know. I think this year feels different. One, I've done it before, so it's not as foreign. But two, I feel way more like I belong with these people. So like last year was like intimidating to see some athletes at the gym, and now it's just like, hey, how are you? I'm
Yeah,
not intimidated, and I have just a better grasp on like I can only bring my best me, and so like how someone else looks doesn't really matter.
that's it. And I mean, just like you have blown last year's physique out of the water like months ago.
Yeah, I'm
Just like
really excited
months
for it,
ago.
and like
Yeah,
boss doesn't miss, so like I know I'm confident I'll be peaked well.
yeah.
Um, it's very black and white when it comes to like what to do. I just have to do it.
Mhm. That simple. Then I'm excited for this glam.
Yes.
Cannot
Um,
wait.
we're gonna do this like straightened curls, like with the curling iron or whatever, for show day, like we did in the last two shows. It'll be better because Amber is doing it, and we'll have some height hopefully because boss said, "Ever think about more size to your hair?" I was like, "Well, let's not get into that."
Yes, boss. I got it.
Yeah, I can't do it myself. I can barely
I got you.
maintain what it is. But I did have a shoot with Gilco yesterday, in the like Red Rocks Canyons or whatever, Ghost Town, which is actually where my shoot with JM after the Olympia is also going to be.
Mhm.
But yesterday I did different outfits, obviously. But I went with it's not styled now, but it was just my natural curls with like mousse and hair gel.
Mhm.
And I was pretty proud of how I made it look. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm excited for those pictures to come out. I'm like, Yoko, where are they at? And I know he's taking pictures of other people and I'm not the first priority, but I'm like, can I have them?
He's like, "I'm kinda busy, it's Olympia week, no big
Yeah.
deal." Yeah, I'm sure it looks fine because there's no humidity there, so that, like, makes it that's the one thing that I do like being about on the West Coast, like, I have super oily skin, y'all know I got tight, coily hair, so my skin and my hair looks great over there. I feel like crap because I'm just thirsty all the time, but outside of that, on the outside, we look great.
Yes. Yeah. It's very interesting. Completely different like climate and atmosphere here. Um, let's see what else.
Are you sleeping?
Once I fall asleep, because my brain is so like on,
Mhm.
it's kind of like I'm laying down and then I just start thinking about like not anything stressful, but it's like, oh, I need to get butter for the cookies I'm gonna make tomorrow, and like
Yeah.
random stuff like that. Or like text Amber this information I think she needs, and it's on my brain now, and if I don't send it, I'm not gonna remember later, and just stuff like that. But I haven't been stressed, which is nice. And then I'm also excited, like the way that they have things lined up, things kind of start tomorrow, but nothing's really crammed into one day. So tomorrow, like we check in and we get our tracksuits and all of that. But then the meet and greet is Thursday. So instead of like last year was kind of like trying to cram everything into Thursday, which was stressful. This year's a little bit better. Some divisions do have check-ins Thursday, but luckily wellness and open men's is tomorrow. So I'm thankful for that.
Ah.
Kind of splits things up a little bit. Um, Boss has been, since he's been into town, he's seen us every morning and then every day at the gym after we train. So like constant eyes on us. Um, so it should be pretty good. Talking about the schedule, um, if you're in Vegas, Thursday night is the meet and greet, 7 to 9 Vegas time. Um, come, I'll have a booth, I'll have shirts, and I'll
Yeah.
have pictures to sign, and like we can take a picture and it'll be great. And then Friday expo starts at 9:30. Wellness is last in the lineup, so I don't know when I'm going to be on stage. Do not message me and ask me. I can't predict the future. And also we're telling you how I feel now, so don't message me and ask me how I feel. Um I think that's the most annoying question. And I know some of you, like when you ask it, you always ask it in a pot, like you don't mean any
Right.
harm. So I'm not like condemning you guys. I'm just making you aware that that's a
Yeah.
very obnoxious question when you're 2 days out. You feel like a bag of dog shit.
It's almost like asking a woman who's 9 months pregnant, "So how are you feeling?" She's like,
Yes, the same way. I feel like I want this baby out.
she's like,
Yeah.
"How do you think I feel?" Yeah. Okay, cool,
So,
cool.
and then Friday night is finals. Saturday, I will be at the Uprising Mid 45 booth at 11 a.m. to 12, and then Elevate the creamy rice that I've been posting, from 12 to 1. That is when I'll be at the expo, and then I will be back to the room to do show girlfriend things because Martin competes that night. So I'll walk around a little bit, but those are the booths that I'm going to be at if you want to come see me, if you cannot catch me at the meet and greet.
Perfect. Are you doing I guess I'm assuming, like, post-show meal Saturday night, I'm assuming.
So I'm going to go with my family Friday night,
Okay.
and just sacrifice sleep because they're not going to the show Saturday.
Gotcha.
And then Saturday is going to be long because we'll probably end up going to like the after party thing.
Mhm.
Um, you guys know from the past, like the show doesn't end till like midnight anyway, so it's going to be a late night. Um, but Friday, like my family is flying from freaking Virginia, so I'm going to go out with them.
Yeah.
But they're aware that I have all that stuff for Saturday, so it won't be like a super late. Well, it won't be like 3 hours of
Right.
running around, but we will go get food.
Good.
But then we'll do it again Saturday night with Martin.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, y'all. So this will be, I'm going to put this up tomorrow. So that way everyone can hear it. It'll be ahead of time. So,
Oh, and I have a YouTube it's uploading now. If it'll ever
you've been
catch up.
killing it.
Thanks. I
I'm
haven't
proud
been
of
doing it. We have
you.
videographers.
It doesn't
um,
matter. It's
but
still going up.
yeah. So one's going up now, and then they'll keep going up through the show. So watch that. You'll see like I'll go over what I'm doing for my peaking food. You guys know that that food is different with the rice milk and all that. So go to my channel and follow there. And then I've been posting on my story, but nothing like structured, just like information or like if I think it look good and like putting stuff up like that.
Yep. Beautiful. All right, y'all. We're gonna cut this short because I gotta pack. Alexis has got to go to bed, get some rest. Thank y'all so much for watching. Of course, we will do our best to be back next week to give you an Olympia recap.
Yes.
Of course, if you see us, please come say hi. I'm gonna say this one more time because I always get messages after the fact saying, "Hey, I saw you, but I
Yes.
didn't want to. You're not a bother. We're at the Olympia, so if you see us, please come say hi. You're not bothering us,
Yep.
okay?"
We're there to see you. We're there to say hi and like take pictures and all that. So don't feel like you can't say anything.
No, absolutely. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. We'll chat next week.
Bye guys.